Hello, this is Ivan for watchandlearn.com. First of all, I just want to apologize for not making any videos for the last few weeks, but I've been pretty busy. Also, I took a vacation, and also there is pretty good weather outside, so I find it hard to sit at the computer while we have such nice weather. So for the first video after my, let's call it, vacation, I decided to start a new series which is going to be called Frontend Tips, and I'm going to present to you some tips for your front-end development that I find interesting. So this is going to be a series that is going to appear on the channel from time to time. In this first episode, I'm going to show you how you can use Laravel Elixir with WordPress, but also any other kind of framework or CMS that you're using. So this is not strictly applicable to WordPress. You can use it with whatever you want, but Laravel Elixir comes with Laravel by default and it works out of the box there, but we are going to have to make some configurations to make it work with WordPress in our case. And then you can take that knowledge to any other CMS or framework once you see it how it's done here. So first of all, let's just discuss a little bit what Laravel Elixir actually is. So Laravel Elixir provides a clean, fluent API for defining basic gulp tasks for your Laravel application, or in our case we are going to be using it with WordPress. So what that means is it's a kind of framework for gulp.js, or kind of an abstraction of gulp.js. So let me show you something. So if you are using my Olympus theme or any other theme that has a gulp tasks in it, you can find something like this. So this is gulp.js file. It's going to compile our CSS files, scss files, JS files, maybe minify our images or something like that. So those files kind of look like this. So you have to define these variables right here, and you have to define your tasks. As you can see, this is actually pretty small gulp file, but with Laravel Elixir you can abstract that and end up with something like this. So this is the whole thing that we are going to be doing today. So you just define some paths and you just tell Elixir to mix some sass, mix some scripts, turn on LiveReload, and so on. So this is what I'm going to be showing you today in this episode. Also remember, everything we did here will be available for you on GitHub, and this theme that I'm calling Elixir for WordPress will be available for download on GitHub. So we are starting with a fresh installation of WordPress. If we go to our themes, you can see that we have a broken theme called Elixir, but the style sheet for that theme is missing. Never mind that, we are going to create a style sheet for that theme. But first of all, let's just take a look at it. So it's a pretty basic theme. We just have index.php functions. Functions is calling our style.css file, and also it's calling all.js file. So all JavaScript files that we have included in our theme will be compiled to this all.js file. And also we have this assets folder, and in assets folder we have JS, which contains main.js file, and we have this CSS folder with fonts.scss, so some partials for scss file. And also just take a look at this style.scss file. It has these comments right here. We have to use those comments. This is the information for WordPress to use, so you have to have that at the beginning of your style.scss file, and then you have these imports. Of course these can be whatever you want, however you want to set up your theme, you just set it up that way. Just remember that you have to have these comments right here. And I think that's about it. Nothing special here. So before we start implementing Elixir into WordPress, you have to have some things installed. So first of all, you have to have Node.js installed, and you just go to this site and install it for either OS X, Windows, or whatever. And also you have to have gulp installed, so you can install it with npm. After you install Node.js, with npm install global gulp SLE, and then you have to install gulp into your project, which we are going to do right now. So I am currently in my WP Elixir project, and first of all I'm just going to initialize the package.json file. So we just do npm init, and this is going to create our package.json file. We can do pretty much enter for all of this. Is this okay? Yes. And now we have to install gulp. So to do that, you just do npm install save dev gulp, and we wait for a bit. After that is done, of course, if this doesn't work for you, you can do sudo npm install, because sudo npm save dev gulp, because maybe you need some root privileges to install on your system. This is all depending on the system you're using. So after that, we're going to install a Laravel Elixir. So to do that, I'm just going to do npm install save dev Laravel Elixir, and then we also wait for a little bit. Okay, so now the Elixir is installed, and remember, if you have any trouble with it, run it with sudo. So now that we have Elixir installed, it's time for us to write our gulp file.js. So to use gulp.js or Elixir, you have to have gulp file.js. So let's create it, gulp file.js, and in this file we have the instructions for gulp to do something with our files, to compile CSS, to compile JavaScripts, and so on. So first of all, we have to define a variable called Elixir. Elixir, and we're going to require a Laravel Elixir. Okay, now that we did that, we have to configure Elixir to work with WordPress. Now, as I said before, this project was created for Laravel framework, so there are some defaults that we have to override. To see all those defaults, you can go to the GitHub page of Laravel Elixir, and then go to src folder and click on config.js, and here you will see the default configuration for Elixir. So you have production, you have assets path, public path, app path, view path, you have stuff for CSS, for JavaScripts, and so on. So whenever you need to change some configurations, you can take a look at this file, because there is nothing about this in the official documentation for Elixir for some reason. I don't know why. So let's change our configuration, and we do that by just doing elixir.config. And first of all, we want to change the path to our assets path. So we do asset path equals to WP content themes, whatever your theme is called, so in our case Elixir, and assets. Okay, so now we made our assets path. Next thing we need to do, we have to define our public path. So this is the path where Elixir is going to compile our JavaScripts and CSS files. elixir.config.public path. If we take a look at the documentation right here, you can see that the public path is currently set to public. Since we wanna save our CSS files to the WP content themes Elixir, we are just going to copy this and paste it right here. So this is going to be our public path. And next thing we need to do, we need to set our CSS output folder. So by default, the Elixir will take our CSS and put it in WP content themes Elixir, so to the public path, and then into our CSS folder. So something like CSS. So this is where the output of the CSS would be, but we don't want that. We want our output to be in the root of our theme. So Elixir, we want style CSS to be right here. So to do that, we just do elixir.config. Now we do CSS, as we can see right here. So CSS, and then we do output folder. Folder is equal to root. So this folder right here. If we take a look at it now, you can see that the output folder is currently CSS. And that's about it for configuring Elixir. Now we can create some gulp tasks to, let's say, compile our SCSS files. First of all, we want to compile our SCSS file to a CSS file so that our theme can have a style sheet, so that we don't get this error right here, so the style sheet is missing. Okay, to do that, we just do Elixir, and then we do function, and then we do mix. Also, this is not right, assets. So we do mix, and then we just do something like mix css, and we give it the name of the CSS file that we want to mix. So since this is our main SCSS file and it includes all the other SCSS files in it, so what we need to do, we just have to do style.scss. And that should be it. Okay, save this. Now we just go to our console or terminal and we just do gulp. And as you can see, the gulp has compiled our CSS files. And if we go right here, so we can now see that we have this style CSS right here, and we also have style.css map. And if we go to WordPress, refresh this page, we can see this Elixir theme right here, so we can activate it. Okay, go right here, and we have our theme set up. So it just says hello. You can delete this text in index.php. Okay, now let's compile our JS files, and to do that you just do mix.scripts. And since we only have one file for now, we can do main.js. So the Elixir will know that since this is the asset path, that the JS files are in this folder. So that's why we define that here, and it's going to automatically look for a JS folder. So we have main.js, and now what's this? Okay, don't save it. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go right here and do gulp scripts. And now this compiled our JS file to right here. So we have another JS folder right here called main.js, and we also have main.js.map. Okay, so looks like that this functions file is not right, so this should be main.js, not all.js. Okay, what if we want to mix or compile few files, not just one file? Well, we can just do this. So put it in an array, and then we would just do so. The second file that we are going to be compiling is going to be called hello.js. Okay, save this and let's create that file. So in our assets folder we have this file main.js, and I'm just going to create a new file called hello.js. Okay, we go right here, copy this, and we can do alert hello world. Okay, save this, and if we go to our terminal right now and do gulp scripts again, now we can see that hello.js and main.js have been compiled to an all.js file. So looks like all.js is actually fine. So I'm just going to go right here and change this to all.js again. Okay, and now if we refresh this page, we should get an alert saying hello world. So this way you can compile a few files. Also, you can do the same thing right here. So if you have a few style.scss files, you can name them right here. Of course, you don't want to run gulp whenever you change something to your CSS files or to your JS files. So to get around that, you have gulp watch. So you just do gulp watch and it's going to work automatically. So you run gulp watch and then you just go to, let's say, your globals.scss file, and we want to change the body color to be black. Okay, we save it, and if we go right here we can see that the Css is automatically compiling. We can do the same thing if we go to hello.js and add an exclamation point right here, save it. You will now see that the JS files are compiling. Also, if you refresh this page right now, it should have a black background and it says hello world with an exclamation point right here. So let's go to our hello.js file and remove this because it's going to make troubles for us in this next section. So what we want to do now is we actually want to make Elixir LiveReload our changes. So to do that we are first going to quit out of gulp, and what we're going to do now is we're going to do npm install Laravel Elixir LiveReload. After this is done, we just go to our gulp file.js. So we require Laravel Elixir LiveReload first of all, and then we have to tell LiveReload to watch for some files. So we do mix LiveReload and we pass it an array of files to watch. So the first file that is going to be watching is going to be style.css. So wp content themes elixir style.css. So whenever the CSS file changes, the LiveReload should reload our browser. Next thing we need to do is we need to tell it to watch for every PHP file .php. And the next we need to do is we need to tell it to watch for all .js files in the JS folder. .js. Okay, this is it. So now we go to our terminal and run gulp watch again. Okay, now that the gulp is watching, we can actually first start our LiveReload extension for Chrome. So you just click it right here, and now we can just go to our globals.css file and change the background to be white. So the first time the CSS compiles, it takes a bit longer, but then it is very fast. So we press this, go right here and wait for it to reload. Okay, so now it's reloaded. So as I said, the first time it takes a bit longer, but if I go right here and change the background to be red, save it, go to this page, and it's red. I can change it to be black, save it, and now it's black. Also, let's just change it to white. And as you can see, we have this hello text right here. So you can go to our index.php file and say hello world. Save this, and now we have hello world right here. It automatically refreshes the page. So the same thing would be if we go to hello.js and do alert, save it, wait a bit for the JavaScripts to compile for the first time, and then it should reload our page and it should say hello world. As you can see, it's reloading now and it says hello world. Okay, you also get these notifications right here. Okay, so this is it for live reloading, and I just want to show you one more thing with Elixir. So what you can do right now, if we go to our style.css file, as you can see, it's not minified. So to minify it and also minify your scripts when you want to go to production, so you're done with your project and you want to push it to the production server, you can just do gulp production. And now it will minify and concatenate all your JavaScripts and all of your CSS files. Okay, so now it's done. Let's just take a look. So as you can see, style CSS is now minified, and also if we go to our JS folder and look for the all.js file, we can see that it is minified also. Okay, so this is it for this tutorial. Remember that this theme, Elixir theme, will be available for you to download on GitHub if you don't want to follow with this video. Also, if you like the video, please like it. If you like the channel, please subscribe to it. You can also ask me questions down below, or ask me questions on Twitter or on Facebook. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.